So what ship do you think is better, Moskva or Stalingrad?
Oh, Stalingrad for sure. I like a ship with big guns.
So what's the better choice, Moskva or Stalingrad? Let's find out with Ripper.
Hey team, this is Ripper. Thanks Natasha for that introduction, and this is Ripper here again. As always, thanks for stopping by, and we're taking a look at the age-old question: which one's better, the Moskva or the Stalingrad? That's the topic of today's video, and we'll take a look at it. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If you see value what we're doing here, smash those buttons. And again, as always, appreciate all the support. Have fun. So here it is, the Tier 10, yes, Soviet Moskva, and we're going to take a look at the Stalingrad later to see which one is a better suit in today's World of Warships, but let's talk about the one right in front of us right here. Meet the Moskva, the Soviet heavyweight ship cruiser of World of Warships, a ship with the heart of a cruiser and the armor of a battleship. Moskva, look at that, powerful guns right there in the broadside of Sejong, and takes him out, and that is the power of Soviet-biased guns on the Moskva right there. With the unique upgrade, you would take a look at that. You can see it in the build. Basically allows a lot better dispersion, great railguns accuracy right there. But the downside of us, of course, is the armor. But again, as we're shooting here, let's take a look at the kind of a history of it. Moskva is a long-range laser cannon. It dominates from a distance and controls a battlefield with brutal precision. But hey, close-in knife fights are not bad as well. She became a legend in World of Warships, named the Moskva, carried weight into the World War II. The actual Moskva was the lead ship of the Soviet Navy's Slava Guy-class missile cruisers, and launched in 1979. Armed with powerful anti-ship missiles and anti-air missiles, she was designed to project Soviet naval power during the Cold War. Fast forward in her game today as a counterpart, the same philosophy applies: area denial, overwhelming firepower, and battlefield dominance. Today in World of Warships, Moskva sits at Tier 10, once part of the Soviet cruiser tech tree, and now she's in the armory, now removed from the tech tree line. I believe replaced by the Petro now, and she's a rare steel ship, a symbol of prestige and power with the 220mm guns, laser-like accuracy, and hard-hitting AP shells. She punishes broadsides with ruthless efficiency. Her shells don't ask for permission, they demand submission. And you can see the guns right here, 220mm, not as big as a Stalingrad, but 985 meters per second shots with a very powerful, only 6,000 damage, not as Stalingrad-ish like, but it's still, because of that lower damage, you get a better reload. Standard Hydra, standard 12-kilometer radar for the Soviet bias, and standard heal right there. But the downside of this thing, it still feels sluggish, not the greatest HP pulls probably, and really this thing burns like a match. I'm telling you, you can really burn down the Soviet cruisers very easily. That's why you got to use the damage con and heals at the appropriate times and sparingly. You do not want to be caught just sitting there burning to death, especially when you get I don't think you get fire prevention on these things anymore. So back in the day we used to, but now if you get all 4 fires on this thing just goes down in flames, right? No pun intended. And look at that, 8,000 damage on a broadside Des Moines. This is a beautiful shot right there, and it hurts a lot, especially from the Soviet cruiser side. And these guns are also fast firing, so you can get these quick, nice sequential salvos in. Look at these nice broadside light cruisers as well. And man, does it pack a wallop. And we just can't seem to get that Citadel shot right there, man. They're overpinning all over the place, these light cruisers. But man, when you connect, you find it. I mean, it really pays off and feels very wonderful. Now, the Moskva, just like the Stalingrad, is a great tanker, juggernaut, going nose in, bow in with that 50mm bow armor. Soviet bias, and also plating. There we go. Finally, the 2 Citadels where you need right there. And of course, if he pops smoke, we got the 12-kilometer to spot the entire area, but he goes down to Los Andes secondaries. And now you're seeing the bulk of the game right here. Really, Moskva being able to hold the 2 caps right in the center spot. I like this map a lot. Holding out for Bravo right in the middle there. Kind of creeping your way in. And, man, it is hard to really dislodge a Soviet cruiser when it's bow in, guns facing you, and just sitting there smiling right back at you. And you see we're capping 2 points right now. This is a bread and butter of the Soviet line. Just being able to be that fortress and that immovable wall, that castle, to really take on the enemy, especially battleships right now. Just look at that full broadside battleships. Do not hesitate to fire AP right in the broadside. Man, does it pack a wallop. Firing the HE, switching to AP right now, and let's see if we can get a nice juicy shell in the Los Andes right here. Man, we are tanking like a champ. We're already 1 million potential damage, 3,200 damage. Oh, now we got the Illinois Nord pushing in. Now watch the power of what the Moskva can do. Just come nose in bow tanking right here. And this is the state of World of Warships that's so fun right here. Trying to figure out who do I have to mitigate damage from and who do I got to kill first. That's the decision making that makes a great captain right there. So we're looking right at the bow right there, 3,600 damage. Not the greatest shots. There were a lot of ricochets. So we're going to have to find maybe superstructure damage here. He's almost dead right now. Can we take him out? And he goes down while tanking. We lose our gun. Damage con. Njord now pushing in full broadside right here, ladies and gents, and this is exactly what we want right here. Look at this. Railguns galore. 6,000 damage with one turret right there. And now we connect with the Citadel. 10,000 damage. Very, very powerful. Taking names and dealing out hate with the Moskva at tier 10. Finally, take another Citadel there. Njord goes down, and we held that advance right there from the enemy team. All right, let's come back into the game and see how we did. 124,000 damage, 3 kills. And now we're trying to see if we can take the cap at Alpha now with the battleships. Just looking at the mini-map here. Where's the bulk of the threat right now? And we didn't get much there. Des Moines, very nice broadside, but he unfortunately will probably be taking a lot of broadside torpedoes from the Njord. Very, very powerful there. All right, let's take a push in again with our team. I luck Unbreakable Line for this reason, trying to figure out how can I dislodge the enemy here and using the Soviet cruiser Moskva here. A nice reversing broadside Burgonia right there, taking a peek up, looking over the island to see if a 9 shells can do significant damage right here. Not bad, but not what the damage I want. A lot of ricochets at the end. Let's see, take a look. Okay, we got Sejong here. Nice broadside Sejong. Now, here's the downside of the aiming reticle here. Sometimes at these angles and these light cruisers, man, do they ricochet, but also overpin so much on the guns. The Soviet caliber guns are just going at such a high velocity. I don't think that the shells are arming in time. Unless I get, like, connect a shot when he's bow in and just plunges right into the Citadel armor right there, but you can see right there 6 overpins. Man, it is difficult. I'm telling you, difficult to get these light cruisers with these rail guns. So that's the one downside of it. They do hit these battleships hard, but man, these light cruisers start coming in. Is it proven that, hey, it almost kind of nerfs your guns kind of in that aspect? Didn't get anything on the Des Moines right there. And so your tight game, very close right here. So let's take a look at who is capping Alpha right now. All right, we got Burgonia, Baguette over here trying to reverse into the cap like a destroyer. See if we can plow a couple shells into his broadside right there. And 3,640, about 4,000 damage right there. Nice Des Moines coming in right there. See, you got to watch that cheek of your broadside. You cannot afford to do that right there. And you'll be taking a lot of damage in the Moskva. Broadside, Des Moines pushing in right now. Look at this nice shot. And see that dispersion. And boom, look at that. 2 Citadel hits right there. That's what I'm talking about. I love these broadside shots. Practicing. I'm aiming slightly above the waterline because this aiming bug has caused me problems. So there it is. It plunged right lower than I thought. 3 Citadel hit right there. Let's see if we can delete this Des Moines right off the bat. Look at that dispersion. Very, very nice. Railguns. Another Citadel shot right there. Very good. 185,000 damage, and I believe he'll be taken down by secondaries. Oh, Los Andes main guns. All right, Burgonia Baguette is trying to run away now, realizing that he has been overwhelmed by superior firepower, and the cavalry has returned. Looking like we're shooting a nice broadside Baguette here. Let's see if we can get some nice damage. See, take a look at the guns. Look at that dispersion. My gosh, laser focus. 7,600 damage. See how you like the gun? See the dispersion? Analyze that when you're taking a look at the Stalingrad later. See which playstyle you like better, which usually like faster firing Moskva guns, or would you like longer reloading, heavier hitting guns on the Stalingrad? Me personally, I'm starting to like the Moskva more just for the consistency and the accuracy of the guns and dealing with not only destroyers, but of course the battleships and the cruisers and that so forth. Again, all Soviet cruisers are going to burn like a match, so you got to be careful of that. It tanks very well bow in, but man, you got to figure out, make sure that nobody flanks you and takes you by the flank there. It's your overwhelming firepower going. Sejong again. Man, we're getting these nice broadside shots. I just wish we could connect. He's turning right into him. And Bupkis. 2 overpins at that angle. Man, it's something weird about it. You would think it would just plow right into his Citadel. Nose in shot right there. 1,800 damage. Not good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Look at the minimap. We got the Njord pushing and flanking us. Good job on the Njord. Now we got to watch. We got to watch our flank now, so we got to deal with 3 ships. We got Vazama in front, Los Andes on the right, and we got Njord behind us and torpedoes coming in. So we got to keep our head on a swivel here, looking around, making sure we can mitigate as much damage as possible. We take 1 torpedo, which is fine. Let's see if we can get as much damage on his side armor right now. Take a look at the shot right there. No ricochets, and there's a 3 ricochets there. So you found out where that armor angle was that really negated our gunfire. Okay, not getting enough damage right there, so I'm trying to figure out the sweet spot. Superstructure or bow right here. Let's take a look. Come on, is he giving enough side plating here? And that was enough, just barely enough. So we're going to have to make this next shot count right here. Right into his superstructure. He's almost dead. Okay, we'll take it. All right, he goes down, and now we're taking on the Des Moines. My gosh, they're everywhere. And we might go down in here, superstructure. But we held the center right there. Look at that. We held them and made sure that nobody was taking points, and we secure the cap win right there with only 12 seconds to go, and that's how you secure the end of Moscow. What do you guys think of Moscow right there? That was some amazing gameplay, just holding in as being an impenetrable fortress, holding in with those main guns and just blasting people out of the water. 243,000 damage, 4 kills, a lot of citadels. My gosh, these Soviet railguns are pretty dang incredible. How did we do here? 243,000 damage, like we said, top of the team. And did we tank damage? Yes, 3.1 million potential. I'm telling you, this thing loves to soak up damage and really is that immovable fortress that is so darn powerful. But hey, that's the Moscow for you. Let's take a look in the next video with the Stalingrad. Okay, here we are, oldie but goldie as well. Stalingrad Tier 10 in Unbreakable Line today. Let's take a look at it. Battle of Stalingrad marked the turning point of World War II on the Eastern Front. It was a brutal, unrelenting siege, an iron-willed stand that defied Soviet resistance in a world of warship. Stalingrad carries the spirit name of defiance and devastation. She's not just a ship, she's a mythical beast at Tier 10, one of the most elite steel ships in the game. Stalingrad is a battle cruiser in all but name with 305mm guns. She's mounted... You can see her right here. She's mounts a battleship caliber firepower on a cruiser hull, capable of absolutely deleting cruisers and threatening battleships at any angle. These guns aren't just big, they're accurate, surprisingly out of some of the best accuracy in the game, but boasts improved dispersion, letting you snipe at long ranges with surgical precision. You know, if you show broadside, she doesn't slap, she erases. Armor, she's, like I said, just like the Moskva, her nose is 50mm thick, shutting off incoming fire like nothing. Her HP pool is massive, rivaling many battleships, and she's tanky, terrifying, and totally unforgiving. But she's not without weaknesses. Her concealment is very, very bad, just like Moskva. Her rush lift is sluggish, and she's a massive target. And if you make positioning mistake, they're often fatal. Stalingrad isn't for dancing around islands. It's for holding a line and punching a hole through the enemy's soul. She comes equipped with 12-kilometer radar and damage control priority, but just slightly regular heal. Not the greatest, not superb, but just standard. Which means your job is to hit hard, hold strong, and make every salvo count. You're not just a cruiser, you're the front line. So in this match, we're going to take a look at it, how the Tier 10 Soviet Stalingrad is paying off in today. Notice a slightly longer reload than Moskva, but you make up for it with that amazing caliber guns, accuracy, and dispersion. Some of the best dispersion, I believe, in the game. Standard 12-kilometer radar, just like you need for Soviet bias, but like I said, the concealment, but doesn't really matter in today. Really, you're spotted from the moon anyways, but you're rocking and rolling, constantly firing anyways. And look at that, disabling Columbo's guns. You got DFAA, and that's pretty much it. Again, the downside of Stalingrad, big, sluggish, bulky, you can flank it, and got, you know, that exposing that crucial citadel side armor, and then as well it burns like a match, just like in any Soviet. And look at a shot right there, 12,000 hits, man. I'm telling you, you are literally a battleship on a cruiser body, and it thinks like it's a battleship, but man, oh man, is it rocking and rolling as a Tier 10 cruiser in today's World of Warships. Nice full broadside here for the Jehang. I mean, this is a wet dream for the Stalingrad. Look at that dispersion right to the side, and bam, 22,000 citadel damage. We are already up to 74,000 damage, ladies and gents, and we're exactly seeing the playstyle of what a Stalingrad really is known for, is just maneuvering like a giant, like a juggernaut, moving in slow and methodical, and just holding and denying areas and deleting ships off the screen. And we now have, ooh, sweet bread and butter over here, Yamato. If you can find a Yamato with this broadside with a Stalingrad, you will enjoy a wonderful lunch right here, because you just really got to aim right beneath the turrets, and that is where you're going to find that sweet, juicy Yamato cheek armor. And unfortunately, we don't get it, but we got something, 9,200 damage right there, which is amazing. Now we're watching our seat. This is the downside. You got to watch your broadsides, because we have a very, very thin broadside armor, because then it just gets walloped by any kind of battleship on the side here, on the like a Georgia flanking us. We're not afraid of any cruiser, really, honestly, unless you can find that broadside. But man, when you're just nose in, it is so difficult to dislodge right here, ladies and gents. So Georgia right now pushing in, probably going to take out our comparable. He's pretty focused on that, but let's see what kind of damage. We got Yamato on the left, Georgia on the right, Napoli in front with support of the Prosen. We got Valparaiso, though, supporting us, and hopefully he can take enough damage for us. And look at that shot from the Georgia. Look at that, deleting literally almost a third of our armor right there, health pool. So we're going to have to back off here and not play with this game with the Georgia. All right, look at this Prussian here. Full broadside. That's exactly what you're looking for right now. So I'm going to just plound it right into its superstructure area. Hopefully we get some kind of damage on the main citadel. And look at that. 16,000 damage, ladies and gents. Like I said, it's a battleship with a cruiser body. And it doesn't deal damage. It makes it. All right, we got Colombo firing at us. Look at the sap shells. Look what they do to us. Oh, well, he kind of missed on that one. It's 10,000 damage again on the Prussian right there. 14-second reload now with Adrenaline Rush kicking in, allowing us to get a little bit more comfortable reload here. And let's just aim slightly above. Firing right in, again, plowing it right into the superstructure. I find the guns are very, very accurate. I feel very comfortable firing these things. Moskva the same. So it's like the Soviet bias of just these cruisers having laser rail guns. It makes it very enjoyable in the sense that, and very easy to shoot at and make a lot of damage. I'm telling you, we're already 141,000 damage right here and halfway through the game. A lot of sap shells firing us, but we're relying on that bow tanky armor right there. So let's see if we can launch this. Hopefully we can get this kill here. He's down to 3,000. Burning down. Maybe this will be us. Yeah, there it is. Prussian taking a battleship out. Taking battleships out like a champ right here. Notice the cooldown of the heals is very, very long. So again, that's why 80 seconds is not a very comfortable time for me. That's why you got to find island cover, avoid being burned down, save that damage con for the very, very last minute. Just like literally holding their ground and, man, just making sure every piece of armor and HP counts, because you really got to maximize these guns to the fullest right there. Look at that shot, 7,300 damage. Okay, we're on fire. We're going to have to put that one out. We cannot afford long duration fires right now. Our heal's still on cooldown. Tang goes down, and now we got Colombo right here. Kind of a nice broadside shot right here, almost. Not too much angling right here. And look at that, 12,000 damage. My gosh, 6 pins, 12,000 damage. Very, very powerful. I think he's going to take the full broadside of these torpedoes. Ooh, look at that. We still got 10k to health to play with. Can we erase them from the mat? Go ahead, make history. And there it is, taking out Colombo. Holding the line right there and securing Bravo Cap. 180,000 damage, ladies and gents. 2 kills, and already we're doing our job right here of working in with the Libertad pushing in. Let's see if we can get a nice other juicy shot right here on Georgia. Okay, looking right up above the island, firing at it. It's full sending it. Look at that dispersion. Incredible. And like 8,300 will take it. Very, very good shot right there. Yamato is on our right. We got to keep an eye out for him. Keep your eye on the minimap. Head on a swivel, always knowing where your threats are at. Let's see if we can get another shot buried into the Georgia there. Yep, we're looking at you, Yamato. Oh, Citadel shot on a Georgia. My gosh, I'm telling you, this thing can Citadel battleships like it's its day job. And here we go. Yamato is looking right at it. Oh, his guns are swinging. This might be the end of us, ladies and gents. I don't know if we can survive another shot. Hopefully we can take some kind of significant damage off of him right there. And 2,000, not what I liked. Ow, right there. And those that had to have been an overpin. He just went right through, but his shells are so thick and heavy here, so to speak, that, man, we just could not survive. But, man, oh, man, did we tank 210,000 damage. 200,000 damage right off the bat. 4 minutes left in the game, and looks like the enemy team is now doing its advance and push into the Alpha Bravo Cap, and not after we at least put some kind of hate and take out some ships before they secure some points. All right, so let's take a look here. Who is the next victim? Georgia again. Again, the American battleship armor not very very good against these Soviet guns here. I'm telling you, look at that laser rail gun right there, and man, when it plows right in, it hurts a lot. 6,000 damage, we'll take it. But, oh, man, when he starts showing this broadside, oh, man, we already set it on once earlier. Let's see if we can try to do it again. I'm not liking the angle there. I'll also aim a little bit higher. Oh, my gosh, never mind. No Citadel shot, but, man, 6 penetration kits with 13,000 damage right there. Incredible. All right, let's go ahead and push and do our Soviet thing and get right into the cap and see if we can hold. Okay, here's that shot right there, and ouch, right there into the Napoli. Not a good day right there. Napoli backing right into a broadside. Looking Stalingrad, it's not going to be a good day. Let's see. All right, Preußen is coming in. Let's see if we can mash this guy and see if we can take the cake here. Oh, this is going to hurt a lot. If you show broadside, you better be sure it better not be Stalingrad sitting there waiting. So he's got 28,000 health left, just engaging here. We'll probably take at least about 12,000 health, so we're waiting to get down to 12. There it is. There's 12,000 health. I think we can secure this kill here. Just aiming right at his bow. Good shot out. Boom, he goes down. 3 pins. Taking the kill. 251,000 damage right there. That is power of Stalingrad, ladies and gentlemen. And this thing is a beast. Longer reload, a little bit more health pool, but a little sluggish. But what do you guys think? You like the Stalingrad playstyle? You like Moskva? Personally, I like the Moskva playstyle myself for the reload and just the ability to be able to tank and find those pesky destroyers and remove them from the cap. Stalingrad feels like a heavy hitter battleship in my personal opinion, and not my playstyle, but still, dang, is it fun. So freaking powerful right there. Look at the damage we did. 249,000 damage with those laser rail guns right there. And man, we tanked 1.3 million damage. This thing is a beast. But as always, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you got something out of the video. Let me know in the comments below. Smash those buttons. Thank you for stopping by and supporting the channel. We can't thank you enough. And as always, if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. Bill will be at the end of the video. Take care. Cheers.